Good afternoon. Welcome to Fluttering in the Spirit Tarot. Today is Wednesday, March 25th, 2026. This is a reading for the sign of Taurus. Please take what fits here and leave the rest. Please subscribe, follow, and like this video. Spirit, please help with this message today. All right, so I am restarting this video, so I already have some cards out on the table here. Just make sure you can see them all. So we have a quote to start with. The best way out is always through, by Robert Frost. And the first card that came out in the reading here is soulmates. So you've got someone in your energy who you definitely have a lot of feelings for. This is a very deep love connection, someone that you felt a lot of unity and connection with. But it does look like there have been some misunderstandings and mistakes in this connection, which may have definitely caused some issues. We also see push and pull dynamic at play here. So this may be someone who, due to misunderstandings or just mistakes and steps taken in the connection, where there was a definite push and pull dynamic, not really being on the same page. We also see the Nourish card here, and this is coming out in a reverse. When in an upright, this card speaks of self-growth, self-focus, and spending a lot of time just soul finding, nourishing within yourself. But with this being in a reverse, this tells me that, and probably part of the reason why there was a push and pull dynamic and mistakes and misunderstandings were at play in this connection, is due to the fact that there was a lack of growth in some areas in the connection. There may have been an unhealthy amount of self-focus potentially. Let me just one moment while I close my door. That seemed to have opened on its own. Okay. And maybe there needed to be some time spent soul searching, soul finding within yourself. So when you step into a connection and you may not be in the best headspace, maybe haven't went through all the nourishment that you needed to really be ready to show up healthy in this connection, which is why you've seen the push and pull dynamic at play, which definitely would have influenced the mistakes. With mistakes here in victim, this could be a victim mentality. You may feel like this other person was kind of a lost soul, wondering whether they can really get past this being in reverse here and really be able to grow and focus on healing themselves. The best way out is always through. And I feel like that's going through some of that self-growth and nourishing yourself. That's the best way to come out of a situation healthy. Any situation that you're dealing with in life where you're having conflict potentially. And then we have the 901. So this is someone who's very burdened by a lot. So I feel like someone in this connection, or maybe both potentially, had a lot of burdens that they were carrying. We have the quote, experience is not what happens to a man, it's what a man does with what happens to him. And this is a quote by Aldous Huxley. And we all go through very hard things in life sometimes. But really, when it comes down to it, it's not about what or how much you've been through. It's about what you take from the experience of going through those things and how you allow that to be a stepping stone to find healing in the future, not just for yourself, but also helping other people around you, whether that be your family, friends. If you're not nourishing yourself and you've got energy coming out in reverse, that you're not really growing or spending the time you need to focusing on healing yourself and really taking the time to search your own soul about what makes you happy, then how you deal with these very hard situations is going to be impacted by your lack of healing or lack of nourishing yourself. Okay, let's go ahead and pull some tarot here. Okay, Spirit, tell me about these soulmates here. Soulmates. Okay, so we have the Seven of Wands. And this is coming out in a reversal. Okay, so the Seven of Wands. Grab my glasses here so I can see. The Seven of Wands is a feeling of being overwhelmed. Feeling insecure in this relationship. This can also signify someone's anger getting the best of them. This can reflect someone who's being very hyper vigilant, especially when it comes to their beliefs or something that they feel very strongly about being challenged. Which that can definitely be a response to prior trauma, whether that's from other relationships and that energy is kind of seeping into a current relationship. That can happen very easily. But it looks like in this connection, you were left feeling pretty defeated. Spirit, wise mistakes here. The Fool, Aries energy. Okay, so with the Fool coming out in a reversal, that's someone being very kind of reckless in their mistakes or misunderstanding. This can signify someone's immaturity, potentially not wanting to step out of their comfort zone. The Fool in reverse can definitely speak of a sense of being naive to potentially what their actions are doing. So this may not be something that someone had set out to display this kind of energy. Spirit, why is nourished here in reverse? We have strength. Strength in reverse refers to feeling doubt, doubting oneself, a weakness, a lot of apprehension or fear, a lack of confidence, which is kind of what we're seeing here with self growth, self focused, and soul finding in reverse. Not really having trust in yourself. A strength card is Leo energy. Spirit, tell me about this push and pull dynamic. We have justice, Libra energy, push and pull dynamic back and forth. Really, it looks like the focus of this was what was true and what was fair in the situation. Spirit, tell me more about the Nine of Wands, death, Scorpio energy. So a lot of burdens. The death card can speak of a transformation or a rebirth. It can also speak of an ending too, as well. Let's get a little more on that. Spirit, why is death here? Three of Wands. This is speaking of, along with this quote, experience is not what happens to a man, but what he does with what happens. And choosing not to let the burdens that you're carrying weigh you down to where you can't put an end to them or potentially transform at least how you respond to the burdens that you are carrying. The Three of Wands speaks of it can be waiting for your ships to come in, a vision for the future, not letting what has burdened you in the past hold you back, and allowing yourself to go through the rebirth that Spirit's trying to put you through, trying to transform things in your life so that you're no longer focusing on the burdens and not looking at what you can do with what it is that you're carrying. In a more positive way and learning to let go of them. Sometimes we hold on to burdens too long, too, as well. Okay. Let's go ahead. I'm going to pull one card for advice here. I'm going to go ahead and stick with this deck. Spirit, what is the advice? Explorer of Pentacles in reverse. Let's see what that keyword is for that card, and then I'll read the. Okay, it's releasing struggles, releasing those burdens. It's not what happens to you, it's what you do with what happens to you. And what your vision for the future looks like, and making forward progress and transforming the situation. Okay, let's go ahead and see what this says. The Explorer of Pentacles is over struggle for struggle's sake. She's had it with the drama. She's done with the treadmill. She no longer wears her stress as a badge of honor. The Explorer of Pentacles is here to enjoy herself. She doesn't care how much she paid for something or what commitments were made or how prestigious an opportunity is. If it's not a heck yes, it's a heck no. The card brings to the surface how often we find ourselves addicted to suffering and skeptical of joy. Wow, this is exactly what we're talking about. If there's anyone who wants to rewrite the narrative for us, it's the Explorer of Pentacles. She firmly believes that we're put on the planet to feel good. When this card appears, it's a sign to cultivate more pleasure in your life. Take a deliciously long lavender bath. Make a I know this word, but I'm gonna mispronounce it. Charcuterie board. It's with the little meat and cheeses and fruit. Okay. With all of the expensive cheeses. Treat yourself to a bouquet of fresh lilies from the farmer's market. Let your intuition guide you. The more pleasure we experience, the more we say, F you is what it says, to the systems of oppression that want to keep us struggling. We don't have to keep struggling through life. That doesn't mean that there's not going to be burdens. But if you're constantly in a push and pull type of energy, and this is kind of how you're going about life and your connections, I mean, nothing's ever going to be perfect, but the best way out of the struggle is always to get through it. And really, what you've got to do, one of the first steps when you're beginning to struggle, is to nourish yourself, to definitely put effort into your own personal growth. Okay. I'm going to pull to end this reading. I'm going to pull a couple of advice cards. Let's see what Spirit has for advice in this deck. And once you're able to nourish yourself properly, then you can begin to nourish people in your life that mean a lot to you. But you've got to work through it. Spirit, what is the advice? Okay, we've got plan wisely, cultivate success through meticulous research and strategic plotting. Your foresight will unveil new plans. Take the time to plan. Scales of balance. Just justice here, basically. Seek equilibrium in love and career, harmonizing your inner skill to weigh decisions with both heart and mind. You can't just focus too much on heart or too much on mind. You've got to balance those. Unity blooms, foster harmony and connection within your community, nurturing bonds that bring us together. All right, well, that is the reading today, Taurus. Please do take what fits here, leave the rest, and subscribe, follow, and like this video. Thank you.